We need to go ahead and get started because
Let's rock and roll. That's why I'm here.
let's start the show.
All right.
Bands you've heard of.
Hello and welcome to Bands You've Never Heard Of. I'm your host, JR.
And I'm your other host, Gary. And we are here to pump you up.
I hit my mic stand on that one. Oops.
Oops.
I saw it coming, but not soon enough to get my hands in the right place. Okay, enough fucking around. We got to get right to the band.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I got my pen. I got my
Okay.
drinks. I got my nasal spray. I'm ready.
I'm excited about every band we do on this show, but this one, oh my God, I'm excited. So I'm going to get right to it and share my screen and play you their first song, and that's how we're going to start.
You're not gonna let me guess?
No, you don't get to guess. I got a thing I'm doing here.
I know I was getting too good at it. I understand.
Yeah, you got it. All right, get rid of that. And so here's the sound of the band. I'm going to bring the volume down on that a little bit. We can talk about what we're seeing right now. What we're seeing is three kids on stage at a jazz festival in New York City, the Jamaica Summer Festival, Jamaican Jazz, something like that. You've got Matt here on keys, got David here on bass guitar, and this guy's blocking him right at the moment, but Jordan, also known as JoJo, on drums. The audio kind of sucks on this because this video was taken back in 2009.
Yeah, I noticed the guy was holding up like a
Yeah.
old school digital
Point and
camera.
shoot from 15 years ago. How great is this guy on keys, though, huh? All right, let me pause that. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here because I want you to hear David as he switches from bass guitar to saxophone.
So we decided.
Here comes the saxophone, baby. Okay, Gary, that's your first taste of today's band. Your first thoughts.
Okay, so it's well documented that I'm not a big fan of sax players in rock bands,
Okay, good.
but this ain't a rock band.
No, this was not a rock band.
This is a purely the purest place for a sax player, other than like a marching band, I guess.
Okay.
The jazz. I mean, sax players have ruled jazz ever since jazz, and this guy rules the fucking sax. I tell you.
Yeah.
And how old is he here?
He's
17?
like 15.
15.
His little brother Jordan on the drums is like 8.
What?
Yeah, 8.
Jeez Louise.
So let me tell you, Gary, I'm setting you up here for the big reveal because these three brothers are still playing together. Matt, David, and Jordan. Been playing together for about 20 years, and they did have some notoriety as the Michael Jazz Trio, but they are not that anymore. And I'm going to start this next video for you. They're now known as MJT, the band, or just MJT. So this is the guys now. And I want you to turn your headphones up because this next track needs to be experienced at full volume. Are you ready?
I am up to 88, which is about as much as my brain can take after 4 hours of rehearsal.
Do we have any hearing left after our rehearsal earlier today? Whew,
What?
It was loud in there. You're going to need it for this. This is the song Daydreamer by modern day MJT.
I'm lost in a peculiar place. I'm lost, baby, lost in outer space. I'm here to get away, daydreaming in my head, 10 hours a day. I can't even know the way. In a galaxy so far away, that's where you find me, daydreaming away, floating high as the Empire State, laying on my chest in an animal way, and I never go down from this euphoric high that I live in. It's a daydreamer, daydreaming away.
Gary, I have been waiting a week and a half for the opportunity to play you that song, and I just got to know, what do you think?
Well, that's what you get when you start at 8 years old and never leave the rehearsal studio ever, or the recording studio, or whatever, whatever petri dish those guys were invented in. Well, of course, this features prominently the Hammond B3, which immediately is a super huge plus. The guitar player, David,
Yes,
right?
That's correct.
He's sick. I mean, just freaking sick. But I was, besides the Hammond B3, I was really impressed with JoJo. I mean, he's kind of grown up a little bit.
It's hard to not watch him. I mean,
it is impossible. My God,
he is putting on his own show back there on the kit. Holy crap.
Yeah, that was insane. I mean, of course, the first thing that came to mind was the psychedelics. But these guys are harder and more rock oriented. But yet still they still got the little bit of jazz and a little bit of gospel in there, which is the phew. Phew. I didn't, yeah.
Are you kind of speechless?
A little bit.
I got to tell you, it is a lot of fun to listen to these songs at top volume on whatever stereo you got. And I've got good stereos. My life has been pretty great. Just put this stuff on and it just invigorates, it energizes, it makes me want to play more music. While we were rehearsing earlier today, I was trying to channel any tiny little tidbit of what Jordan is doing on the drums. Myself, I can't do what he's doing. I'm not that drummer. I'll never be that drummer. But believe me, I was picturing him and what he's doing the entire time I was playing today, because I want to be like him when I grow up.
Oh, no shit. I mean, that was just amazing. It was, but the most amazing part was just Matt. He's not paying any attention to anything and is doing the bass line, just repetitive but still putting in grace notes and crazy little shit and then topping it off with some B3 and just not really. I mean, he's watching JoJo. It's like even they can't not watch JoJo play the drums. I mean,
right.
It just that was what was so cool.
So yeah, he's playing bass synth while also playing keys. Here, let's go read the bio for the band. You ready for that?
I am ready for that. I've been ready for that.
MJT is a musical force of nature and longtime fixture of Long Island's live music scene. The Godfrey brothers' musical trifecta is built on Matt's ambidextrous virtuosity, playing simultaneous keyboards and synth bass, Jordan's bombastic edge-of-your-seat drumming, and David's atmospheric chord melody guitar parts and soulful vocals. The Godfrey Brothers' magic has captivated audiences opening for Slash and Miles Kennedy, Alter Bridge, and Seven Dust, while also backing diverse national touring acts like Yellowman, Stoneboy, and Tash Neal.
Jeez, that is a wide variety right there, man. But I'm not getting the atmospheric part because he was kind of in your face with the guitar, honestly. In a good way. I'm not saying that as a derogatory at all, but I want to hear some more stuff now. I want to hear the atmosphere because a lot of times we'll get that in the bio or a review or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I didn't hear that. I haven't heard that yet. So I want to hear some atmosphere.
I've got some atmosphere
because I've got that. Because I mean, I'm all in on the in your face. Because what he's doing, what he's doing, playing rhythm and lead and singing at the same time, is just a masterclass, really.
So this band started off clearly as a jazz trio. It was a conscious decision to become a grunge rock band, and I have questions about that. Like, how did that transition happen? Who thought of it? When did they decide, or did they just realize it was happening? Right, like I'm going to ask them later on in this episode when
did it just come in, or did they decide hey, we need to do something.
Let's pivot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I want to know about that. That song you just listened to, Daydreamer, they actually recorded it years ago. Let's go to their Bandcamp here for a second. And so this is their 3 albums on Bandcamp. They have 3 of them that were released back in 2016 and 2017. Home, The World is a Broken Toy, and Nightmares and Daydreams. Nightmares and Daydreams is where Daydreamer, that song we just heard, first debuted back in January of 2016, so over 10 years ago. And I've been devouring these guys for this last week or so, watching podcasts and interviews and stuff with them. And this song was a mainstay in their sets and on this album, and people loved it. It was people's favorite song. It was their set ender at the end of a gig, right? It was a crowd pleaser, and they got sick and tired of playing it, and so they stopped. And I want to know, why did they bring it back, and bring it back even better? So it's basically the same song. There's not much difference other than some guitar sound and stuff, but it's the same song, better, recorded today. So there's that.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, thought you might have thought that. Music, and they started playing music, and their mom was very supportive. They got on amateur night at the Apollo Theater back when they were kids, and did quite well. They won several times, and then I guess they even at some point somebody beat them out. But they were
at some point they were like, "No, you can't do this anymore.
Give someone else a chance."
We're gonna push you in. We're just gonna give you a night, okay?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I've worked with several of the Windham Hill artists, and it's amazing. Because you hear their records, which are quite mundane, and they're all produced exactly the same to give you that feeling of that new age kind of thing. And then they go out and play live, and they can get a little bit insane. I mean, deep down inside, they are jazz, and some of them become hard jazz and Yanni was one of the main ones that would become. I mean, he threw some shows, so I can very well understand them getting inspired. And that was a historic concert. Yanni live at the Acropolis was, that was a historic concert. I mean, obviously it made it to Laserdisc.
Yeah, not very many things made it to Laserdisc, but that one did. That's
to make it to Laserdisc. That shows exactly how big that was. But being serious, so Yanni did inspire a lot of people, not from his recorded works, but from his live shows, because they were way more unhinged and way more improv and a lot more in your face kind of, but a lot more complex and beautiful.
Okay, I got so much I want to tell you and so much I want to play you, so we're going to move back into playing some music. I don't think we have time for this entire song, but I think we can get what we need to get out of it. This is also from that same live recording that we just watched from Daydreamer. This is also in that same studio, same space, and this song is an instrumental that, I'm not big on instrumentals a lot of the time. I want to hear some vocals, but this one, it feels like it's telling a story without telling me a story, and this is called "The Man in the Static." I'm gonna fast forward to a separate part of the song here, Gary. This is The Man in the Static by MJT. Your thoughts?
There's no way they could put vocals to that. I pity the fool that tried to sing over top of that.
Yeah, he said in an interview, I just couldn't think of anything.
You reckon? Holy shit! It's parts. They're all smiling. They're all kind of laughing. It's got almost. It's almost like let's do this now.
I've watched the section in the middle a couple times. It appears I can't see it go flying across the room, but I think JoJo dropped a drumstick.
He's done that a few times. Even in the first video, he dropped one like I think twice. Not that you could tell, other than you see it flying. That's. But once again, Matt is just like he's concentrated on his right hand. His left hand's doing some crazy ass shit. And I'm sitting there counting it. And oddly enough, it is not an odd count. It is I think an 8/8 or maybe a 8/16. But the way it comes across, it's like, oh my God, this is like in 11/8 or something like that, because it's so syncopated that you don't you just that's why I'm sitting there counting it going no, and you can't count it by fours. You count it by four and it's just there's too much going on for it to be a four beat, but when you count it by eights, it works out quite well.
Yeah.
But holy crap! I mean, that's the jazz stuff coming out right there, big time. But it's really cool that because it is an even, an even meter, that you can dance to it. Even though it's kind of herky jerky, the way they're syncopating everything. The line, the rhythmic line flows through. And that is, that's just art. That's just, so did these guys, they just learned together. They didn't, are there any, are they all Berkeley grads?
That's the question. That's definitely one of the questions we need answered today. Is how did they become so proficient, other than just playing together? Were they? I have
a feeling that's just from like, oh, what are you doing today? Oh, we're hanging with my brothers.
So I've watched a couple interviews with them, and when the other kids were out playing, these guys were not. They were at home playing music. Like, this was their leisure activity. This was their after school. This is all they did. Was this?
It shows.
Yeah,
it really does. This is amazing. I mean, this is just crazy.
So they've put out a concept album called Mr. No One Part 1 and Part 2. And this is where Daydreamer, the modern version, lives in the Part 2, which was released last year, 2025. Mr. No One Part 1 came out right as the pandemic was pretty much over, 2023. And if you want some atmospheric stuff, there's plenty of it here on these tracks. There's plenty of it, and we're not going to listen to a ton of it, but we are going to get some atmospheric stuff here. We'll start with the intro to Mr. No One Part 1.
nice to meet someone like me. Someone that's gonna drift like sailors lost at sea. A feather plucked from reality, floating on a dream. It's really nice to meet someone like me. I wish that I could stay, but now the wind is calling, and I must go like a leaf must fall from its tree. I know the spring will have to come someday. In the rain we'll meet again someday.
So you're experiencing the softer side of MJT, and they've got softer than that. Stuff more heartfelt and atmospheric and less in your face, loud guitar grungy. Your thoughts on Someday in the Rain from Mr. No One Part 1?
Somewhere along the way, they listened to a Pink Floyd album,
Yeah.
and that was and what they came out with was quite stellar, quite amazing. And then to take all that and to like suck it into that, very tight little pop song, it was just, I mean, there's like, okay, we got the Pink Floyd thing going on, we got the big bombastic beginning, and now we're gonna put it right here. It's not in your face anymore. It's just like, it's just right here, and it's right down here. Beautiful.
Excellent. All right, let's go back in time to their first 3 albums released on Bandcamp. It's the only place you can find them. You cannot get them on Spotify. I'm really glad I watched and listened
Good
to
for them.
an entire hour-long interview with them on a podcast just a few weeks ago. And I found out at the end of it that if you want the deep cuts, all the rest of the songs, rather than what you can get on Spotify, you got to go to their Bandcamp. And I have now purchased all 3 of the albums they have on Bandcamp so that I can listen all I want. And here's what I want to play for you. Several songs. We may not get through every minute of all the songs, but we're going to do this. We're going to go first to Nightmares and Daydreams. It was their first release back in January of 2016. And we are going to listen to the song Burn.
I feel the rage break down the walls, break down this place. I will fight to the death. Oh yeah, look at the mess we made. You said our world delayed. It's time to burn it all down. And I won't go away, I'm here to stay. You made the rules that I came to break. Look at the mess we made. You set my world ablaze. And I will burn it all down, straight to the ground.
I think you get the picture. That's Burn from Nightmares and Daydreams by MJT 10 years ago. Any thoughts, Gary?
And so they were in their early 20s. Well,
Yes.
I guess JoJo was probably still a teenager, I imagine. But yeah, no, it's just, it's way beyond it's way beyond what you would expect from but then again, they'd already been playing, together professionally for what 8 years at that time, 9 years at that time, I
Yeah.
guess. But you know, they do like a certain chord progression, and I'm battling in my theory brain of to what it's called. They use it. They've used it in like 3 of the songs that you've played so far for me, but it's a drop of a half a step, but not necessarily in, it's definitely not a major key. I'm thinking it's like a diminished progression, but there's a real name for it. I can't land on it right now, but they use that a lot, which is it kind of gives them their signature sound.
Okay. Yeah.
That most people aren't going to pick up on. They just know that they dig it,
I fully expect you to get all nerdy about guitars when they come on the show here. And for you listeners, in about half an hour, we will be talking live with MJT.
Yeah, I'm definitely jonesing on that the Paul Reed Smith telly.
Oh, did you notice that he plays a Paul Reed Smith?
Well, duh.
I think they're sponsored. Look at this. It's on the bottom of their website. I saw that and I thought, oh my gosh, this just gets better and better.
Yeah. And he's earned that too, big time. Because Paul Reed Smith they don't endorse people very much. I mean, they'll make signature series, but they've made signature series guitars for people they don't endorse.
Huh.
So, it's a thing where, because I've seen several articles about, this or that guy, and they approached them. And it's like, hey, would you like us to make you a guitar? And they're like, yeah, sure. So what, and they're like, well, it'll cost you this much. And they're like, what? They're like, yeah. It's like, if you want, we can sell them, and you can make, you'll make a mechanical fee for your name, attached to it and everything. But yeah, we don't do give you guitars endorsements that much. It's not their thing so much.
Yeah. All right, so back to Bandcamp. A year later, they put out a new album called The World is a Broken Toy, and the first song on that album is the song we're going to listen to next. It is called Revolution.
And our dreams, a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's all possible, but control is what they fight for, over you and over me. What's inside the mind of a rebel? The American dream. Oh yeah. Look around and all I can see, corrupt control and deceit. Whatever happened to the land of liberty? Wake up, open your eyes. No more, I'm done with the lies.
Revolution by MJT off of their album The World is a Broken Toy back in 2017. That EP, as they say here on Bandcamp, is about the world around us, but is also about where we find ourselves in it. It's relationships we fight for and the life we try to live as individuals. We shape our personal world, but also have the potential to shape the world at large, and that's what this EP is about. Are you once again speechless? Is that what's happening?
No, I was just thinking of the proper way to frame my question,
Okay.
or my statement, because 2017, which gets 2016, 2017, right in that area,
Yeah.
It was some shit going on.
Yeah, we had just had a major change in country's leadership there. I think.
Yeah, and that was about the time that also that our songs "People" and "Saints" came out. Were concocted, and it reminded me of that. But do you know who that song reminded me of so much?
Who?
Not thematically. And vocals, and being that thematically in the the protest level of it and everything,
Okay.
but the vocals.
Yeah.
Is the name Corey Glover?
Yes, I knew it.
Yes.
I've been waiting for you to pick up on that. Yeah.
Yeah, because the earlier stuff, I mean, you could tell, because it's one of my questions is, when did you decide to start singing? Because the earlier ones is very pure. It's a very high tenor voice, which is a total weird juxtaposition over this heavy, heavy riffs, and heavier music. This one, it's still, it's deepening it, it's getting more body into it, but it's still a high tenor. It's getting more body into it, but in this song, it's got so much force behind it.
Yeah.
Which reminded me so much of Corey Glover, and the way the whole song was structured and everything. So I'm wondering if they were fans of Living Colour. I mean, who knows? They might be the ones that turned them from jazz to rock. I don't, because
they went from Live at the Acropolis to Cult of Personality.
Yeah. I mean, that could have been. I mean, it would make all the sense in the world for that to have happened, because they're too young for the Busboys to have taken them that journey. And that song in particular kind of goes, oh man, that might have been the turning point, that might have been part of it. So
all right, I got one more song to play you from these older albums. This album came out the same year, November 2017, and the album is called Home, and the song I want to play you is called Never Change. God, that break bridge thing, whatever that was just, oh. You're banging your head on your mic, Gary. Are you okay?
Obviously not. Why are these guys filling up arenas? I mean,
Oh,
fuck.
that's the perfect
This is-
transition to what I need to talk about next.
God. I mean,
I
it's not like they come from, like Oklahoma or something.
Long
I
Island.
mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, that's just it's criminal. It's fucking criminal. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah. So you notice I haven't brought up how many times their songs have been played on Spotify yet, and how I found the
Well,
band and all that stuff.
I've kind of seen,
Yeah.
few thousand here, a few thousand there, as much as double digit thousands and a few.
So yeah, their
but
most
it's
played
like-
song is "Daydreamer" at 15,000 plays,
Yeah. I mean,
and
that's
12,000
it's
on "Here We
fucking
Go,"
criminal.
which we'll hear in a minute. What the hell?
It's fucking criminal, dude.
What the hell? So they've been around for 20 years. They've been playing for. They played played with Slash. I mean, what? Let me show you. Let me show you the tour they're about to go on. Okay.
Oh yeah, I keep seeing that, but I
Yeah.
don't have time.
So this is the tour.
Raleigh, Boone. Love playing Boone.
So they're physically in New York now, making their way down to Miami, Florida.
I hope they make it out of Florida.
Me too. They're gonna get on a cruise boat and do the Summer of '99 cruise 2026. You want to know what that is? Guess what? It's this right here. Look who they're playing with.
Holy shit. My buddies, my friends. And they're playing with Living Color.
Yeah,
Thank God.
I know. I didn't want to.
I mean, I'm excited about Daughtry and friends of and
Collective Soul. Come
and
on.
Our friend Andy plays with Creed.
He plays with Creed.
Yeah.
Andy Waldeck.
Yeah.
I did not know he is.
Well, he
Creed.
was. I don't know if he's on this tour or not, but he's been playing with them on and off. And of course, we all know the Daughtry boys.
And Brian, the guy that recorded our previous band, owns a studio and plays with Daughtry, so he'll be there.
Well, he's the music director for Daughtry, yeah. And Andy plays with Creed, which also worked with Brian with Daughtry. So,
Yeah.
but look at the very bottom. Look who is also on that bill. Dueling pianos.
Dueling pianos. Yeah, I don't know what that
is
means
awesome.
exactly.
No, those guys.
I mean, I've been to piano
kick
dueling
ass.
piano bars. Kiki insists on it every time we go anywhere that has one of those. It's
Yeah, but those guys in particular are just fucking sick.
yeah.
I mean, they're just. I mean, it's just they're sick.
So,
but damn, what a cruise! That's an insane cruise.
what are you doing Thursday, April 30th, Gary? Because that's the closest this tour is going to bring them to you and me. That'd be in Richmond, Virginia, at Ripple Rays. You can't buy tickets yet. I've signed up to get notified. I don't want it to sell out before we get a chance, but I mean that's just coming up in like 3 weeks.
Oddly enough, I do not have a single thing listed on Thursday, April 30th.
I know, me either. Well, I do now. I've got this on my personal calendar.
I'm gonna put this on Ripple Rays. I mean, I literally play in Richmond every week. I have not heard of Ripple Rays.
Yeah. So the way I found out about this band, I was just scrolling through Facebook, which I do way too much. And you know how your feed now is either advertisements or pages
suggestions.
or people you do not currently follow and probably don't even know.
Right, because in order to get your friends feed, you have to go into feeds and dial up
and
which
choose
feed
friends,
you
right?
want.
So if you just go with the basic Facebook feed, it's a bunch of stuff that they're trying to influence you with.
Right,
And
yeah.
I just saw one of those posts, and somebody simply said, I've been waiting for this band MJT to come to Asheville for years. I'm so excited I finally got to see them. It was simply that, and I was like, oh, that's a band I've never heard of. Let's go check it out. Saw that they hadn't hardly had any plays on Spotify. I was like, all right, let's listen. Oh my God. I mean, I was hooked. And then it kept adding on more and more reason to feature this band on our show. The Paul Reed Smith guitars with you, the Summer of '99 tour, the fact that they're brothers playing rock, that like we've been doing some lighter music in the past few episodes, right? And you are made no secret about the fact that you're kind of in like a heavier, harder rocking kind of mode, and that's been for a couple years now. So I was super excited to have a band that is fucking rocking for you. And I mean, all the pieces came together, and I couldn't believe that they said yes, that they would be glad to be on our show. They're about to go on tour. Like literally, they're leaving the day tomorrow after we talk to them tonight.
Oh, wow.
They're leaving, and then their first show is on the 9th in Raleigh.
In Raleigh.
Yeah, today for those.
Oh, the Poorhouse. Oh, the Poorhouse. Nice. That's a nice place.
Yeah, we're recording this on Sunday, April 5th, so their tour starts in 4 days.
Yeah, so the Boone Saloon wasn't there when we played in Boone. We used to play in Boone. Neither was the Evening Muse in Charlotte, and we never played in Florida. Thank God.
You knew even back then that was nothing good going to come from that.
Even back then, it was just like I don't think I'm going to go there. But that cruise is so fucking awesome, and that makes it. I mean, you know, I'll be clean. The getting on the cruise in Miami makes it worthwhile putting up with the other dates in Florida. So
right. I mean, you're making money on your way to Miami and on your way back. So
yeah. And
Rabbits in Jacksonville.
Oh, I've heard of that place.
Yeah,
I've definitely heard of that place. Will's Pub. I mean, these places sound pretty normal. You know, they're not. Once again, why aren't these motherfuckers in arenas? Because this is some, you know, they could and their music would definitely fill that arena. I mean, you know, maybe not the people that know them yet, but let's put them out with psychedelics and just sit back and make 2% and
so
and retire. Wait a minute, I am retired. Never mind.
So I had this brilliant question dialed up to ask these guys, and then I watched them interviewed on another podcast where they asked them this question already. So I'm just going to talk about it here. They did an interview with Indie Music Discovery in 2015, and the question was, "Where do you guys see MJT in 10 years?" And I thought, "Oh, cool! It's 11 years."
So
ago.
last year,
right? Yeah. And their answer was, "It's tough to say. We're always focused on what's in front of us. I really want to be just as driven in 10 years as we are now, even if we've experienced some success. I would hope we'll have a few good albums under our belt and are able to play in arenas and other large venues. When it comes down to it, though, we just want to keep creating and performing music that people enjoy. That feeling of rocking out to a crowd of people that are engaged and enjoying what you are doing is the reason we're still playing." So they were asked in this other interview, well, 10 years later, what's the deal? And they feel like they're absolutely just as driven, but they're differently driven. They're not driven by all of the same exact motivations that was driving them.
Well, so we can ask the follow-up question.
That is,
I mean, that's how I would phrase it. You know, it was like, hey, we're going to follow up on an interview from 2015. And so how's it going? You know, where are you?
Have you achieved those goals? That's what I want to know.
And they've achieved most of them except for the arena part.
And what are your new goals for the next 10 years? Like, what's your drive now? I want to have this conversation with you again in 2037.
2037.
All right. We are almost there, Gary. It's about time to bring these guys in. And as we transition from the first part of the show to the second part of the show, I would like to play one more song. You can sit there and listen to it, or you can go smoke a cigarette. Either way, this song is going to play. Let's take a second to look at their YouTube for a minute, because they didn't start posting stuff on YouTube, like videos for their songs, until about a year ago. Like, this is all they've got on YouTube. It took them a while to get going with that. And the first video that they put out is a song we have yet to hear. It is on Mr. No One Part 1, and it's called Here We Go. When this song is over, we will be back with Matt, David, and JoJo of the band MJT, and we're going to pick their brains. Are you getting questions ready, Gary?
I actually have them written down this time. I know.
Nice.
Don't get too excited.
I've got a long list of questions
I
myself.
know you do. You always do.
Yeah, buddy.
That's why you run the show. And
So,
not
yet another reason to be watching this show. If you're just listening at home or in your car, pop up the YouTube, or Spotify has video, because we're playing these videos whenever possible on these songs. And of course, the interview will be live on Zoom, so you'll get to see these guys as we pick their brains and talk about music. So this is Here We Go by MJT. We'll be back with the band live in about 5 minutes.
Sweet. There he is.
There's the maestro right there.
Here's the maestro. Oh, he's in a car.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
and I was playing some music. It was a double day kind of thing.
A double day. Guy, will it be just you today, or is the whole band joining us?
I think we got one of them. I don't know where he's at right now at the current moment. We're all coming from different places, but I believe one of them is jumping on with us.
Okay.
Yeah. How you guys doing though?
Good.
We're doing good, man. I'm Gary.
David.
Yes. I'm admitting Matt to the room now. Matt is here.
Yeah.
Matt
All
is
right.
here.
I think that's everybody then.
Oh, we don't get the pleasure of JoJo
we got no
today?
JoJo?
I don't believe so. I was just talking to him. It seems like he is not available for this.
There's Matt.
What's going on?
Right on. Is turning your phone to landscape an option for you, Matt?
That's actually ideal.
There we go. Now we're
Yes.
talking.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt. I'm Gary.
What's up, Gary?
Good to
nice
meet
to
you,
meet
man.
you.
I'm JR. Nice to meet you both.
Hey, all right, what's going on, bud?
You guys have been filling my
guys.
head nonstop for the past 2 weeks. And I have been biting my tongue because the way our show works is I spend the first hour, we just finished doing this, recording me getting to share with you this new band I have found.
Share with me,
Yes.
not them.
that-
They know what band they're in.
Thank you. So we try to celebrate the idea of discovering a band before most other people, and then sharing it with your friends, and being that guy who is responsible for bringing good music to your life, to Gary's life, and to all of our listeners by extension. And so he is your newest fan, literally within the last hour.
Nice.
I found you guys from some random person's post on Facebook, and I thought, I never heard of this band. Let me go check them out. And so I don't know that you actually fit onto our show, because clearly lots of people have heard of MJT. I'm just really late to the party. And you guys, I've been watching podcast interviews.
Well, there's a good amount of people that we've been exposed to a lot of people.
It seems like that's been happening a lot. Are you on the up and coming now? Are you feeling like a major buzz is starting to really grow around you guys right now? Has something changed recently?
It feels like things are happening. We got a lot of people helping us now, which is different from the past 20 years prior.
Okay.
There's a lot of people doing a lot of different things for the whole project. There's a team now, I guess is the best way to say it.
You have people.
Yeah. So because of that, we've been able to connect some dots. Like we've been fortunate to do some real cool stuff over the years. But with a team now, we can connect those dots, so the buzz actually feels like it's not just these isolated things anymore.
Yeah. So you guys just started putting videos out within the last year. And you're blowing up on TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff. Like once I started following you, I'm seeing stuff on the regular. Maybe it's every day. And I was literally going to ask you, are you guys finding time to do that, or have you have a team? So you have a team now.
That's some of the help is, for the most part, it was us up until like very, very recently. But now someone's helping us post on Instagram. Like any kind of like talking is us, but like the literal actual posts going up, making sure that happens every day. That's that someone's helping us with that. But TikTok is still just us just doing that. But honestly, a lot of the help is coming from like booking and management and all that kind of thing. It's not just like a DIY project anymore.
How did that change? Did you go seeking it out, or did they come to you?
We met a guy named Alric Carter, who's a keyboard player for Talk, that band Talk. And we met him through a mutual friend of ours. Well, I guess we got introduced to that band through a mutual friend. Dave Coltai. He used to own Supro, which used to be right near us, like 10 minutes from our house. So that's why I play Supro.
I love Supro, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
great
Supro.
stuff. Great stuff. I've been playing their hands for years, but so yeah, we kind of got connected up that way, and Alric just wanted to work with us. You know, like he saw what we were doing, so we were trying. I guess is the best thing. You know, putting in an effort, and he
Yeah,
liked the
because he
sound.
has
You know?
ears. I think that's why.
The cool, like specifically, it's like I'm talking to Dave one day. It was a summer or two where I spent a lot of time hanging out with Dave, like my brother Dave mentioned, and and he's just like, "Hey man, I want to put you in touch with this guy because I think like, you got you. I don't know. I feel like you guys should know each other." He's talking about the band Talk, and he gives me the info on one of the players in the band, and so I hit up Matt. And I'm like, hey, what's up, Matt? My name's Matt. That sounds cool. It's just the same name thing, whatever. And he plays guitar. And I reach out to Matt, and he's just like, hey, man, you guys sound dope. I listen to your tunes, and I love this, whatever. And he was living out west at the time, and he's like, this sounds great. I'm gonna put you in touch with AC because you're a keyboard player. He's a keyboard player, and how the whole thing started out. He's like, maybe you guys can nerd out on keys and see where it goes from there. And here we are, a couple of years later, after nerding out on keys, just by meeting, texting each other. So it's one of those funny happenings of you just kind of like being in the right place, right time, universe kind of doing the rest.
Yeah, Ulrich is the guy who I was emailing back and forth with, and I explained that I had recently fallen in love with what I'm hearing, and he's like, "Thanks for reaching out. Glad you're enjoying their music. Looks like MJT got you the same the way they got me."
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And we're finding out that it's easy to nerd out on the stuff that you guys are doing because it's so many different levels that you can nerd out on, and I was nerding out on the song structure and the chord progressions that you're using, and then since Matt kind of there he is, he's there, there he's back, and then J Hard scrolled to the bottom of your website and just goes, they're Paul Reed Smith endorsers. Okay. Because I noticed you're playing the Paul Reed Smith telly. And I'm like, oh man, I haven't really heard anybody playing that yet. And holy crap. And it's like, so yeah. So how did that come about? How did the whole thing with
Same friend.
same friend, AC.
No, Dave.
Oh, Dave.
Yeah. No, it was just we were going on the road with Alter Bridge, and we were only on that tour because Miles was a friend. Miles wanted to hear the record, honestly, and Mammoth had to drop off. So he kind of stuck his neck out for us. And was like, come play. But he was just dropping that guitar, the Miles Kennedy signature. So I was talking about it, and Dave sent me the email of the artist rep at PRS, and the artist rep at PRS was like, he just sent me after talking for a little bit. He listened to the record. He just sent me like my name on their website, like as an artist, and I was like, that's not real. I don't think that's a real thing that just happened.
I didn't have.
So they sent me that guitar, So it was awesome. It's a fantastic guitar. I love playing it, But that's how that went down.
Wow. So on the tour that you're doing, when you go on the cruise, you're going to be on there with another PRS endorser, the Brian Craddock, who plays with Daughtry, who's friends with ours.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna holler at him and go, hey man, you've got to check these motherfuckers out.
Oh yeah, man.
these guys are definitely up and coming. So definitely look out for Brian from
That'd
Daughtry.
be sick. Yeah, I know Mark Tremonti's on the PRS wave too. I think there's a couple PRS players on this cruise, but I'll that'd be cool to link up with him.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Good dude.
So when you go on this cruise, where you're playing with Creed and Daughtry and Collective Soul, Living Color, a bunch of other artists,
so many.
at this point, you've been doing this long enough. It wouldn't surprise me if you said, "Oh yeah, we know all those guys. We're excited." Or
Well,
maybe
we
there's
know
some
some of
bands
them.
on that list where you're like, "I am so freaking excited to meet these guys."
Like the
I
dueling
I
pianos.
cannot wait to see Collective Soul because that was like a band for me when I was like, 19, 20 years old
Yeah.
that I could not stop listening to. But we've played shows with Living Color before. We know Doug might jump up with us for a couple songs here or there. Um, and obviously, like the guys in Creed, we don't know Scott Stapp, but the rest of the guys in Creed are from Alter Bridge. We know them from touring with them. Um, that's how this came about. Is we went to the Jones Beach by us as the venue Jones Beach. They were playing, Creed was playing, and they got us in. We hung out with them afterwards, and they kind of just mentioned, this like being like, oh, they should play the cruise, and we are like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
That's a
sure.
cool, yeah.
Just give us a
Couple days
call.
later, we get an email, and I was like, and that's another thing where I was like, that's not real. That's not a real thing. But,
So did you put a tour together to pay for yourself to get to Miami and then to
we
get
put a
back
tour
from
together because we could pay for the tour.
Yes. Nice.
Sweet.
We put a tour together because they're actually giving us money for that for the cruise. But no, we put a tour together because it just makes sense. It makes sense to. Our main objective right now is to play for as many people as we can. So it's like if we're gonna be going down there, we might as well put a couple weeks together, like a week on the front, a week on the back. And we got a lot of family down there and stuff too, so it's like good to see everybody.
Nice.
Just the perfect time for your question, JR.
So you were in an interview on Indie Music Discovery in 2015. You answered the question, "Where do you see yourselves in 10 years?" And I was like, "Genius! I'm going to ask these guys about that." And then I watched the podcast you did in Des Moines, Iowa, where they
Same thing
asked that
happened,
same question. I was like, "Damn it, they beat me to it." But so similar
But it's
question.
been 11 years now. So.
Exactly.
How do you feel in 11 years?
Do you feel like you've achieved the goals you had 10 years ago, 11 years ago? And what are the new goals for the next 10 years?
So I feel like Matt, you want to say something to this, but I'm gonna say this first because I did think about this and I was like, oh, if I could answer this again, one of the big things, honestly, is like 10 years ago, I wanted to be the best guitar player, and as you refine that kind of idea, you realize that there's no such thing, but I did. The thing that I did accomplish was like I became the guitar player I thought I could become. You know what I mean? So like that's the success even in and of itself. Whether or not we could bring people to shows, that's a whole other thing. A whole different type of success. But like being able to play the stuff I wanted to be able to play. And now it's like, in another 10 years, there's all the stuff I can't play that I would love to be able to play in another 10 years, but like that's a real big thing. And like the fact that we didn't stop is also something to comment on, I guess. But what would your piece be, Matt, on that?
I actually like that a lot. That take. I feel like in the last 10 years, similarly, I feel like I've grown not as a player, but just kind of in my confidence in me being me. When I was younger, I used to spend a lot of time, and I feel like it would not only show itself in my personal musicianship and playing, but also for the group. And that, I was like, oh man, I'm always focused on all the things I can't do and all the things I want to do, that I hear other guys being able to do, and I'm like, I don't sound anything like that. And so that was like, oh, it was because you're not, that good. And it actually transitioned into, well, no, I'm me, and there's nothing wrong with listening to other people and trying to pick up things here and there and be influenced, but like being true to yourself and how that translates to the band is, I think, something that we kind of always set out to do. That I'm happy 10 years later, 11 years later, whatever it is that we were able to accomplish, is we always we always are us, and I feel like, for a lot of people that we've come into contact with, it's tough in this business to just be you and be yourself, and stay true to yourself. And we've been able to navigate this industry, and kind of figuring out where our place is and what we're doing, also while sonically still maintaining our identity and making the music that we want to make. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of pressure to be like, well, let's just do this and we can do that. And some of it even is like, brought on by social media because, there's these trending things on social media. Oh, this is what we got. These are the trends we got to do and stuff. And we've kind of maintained being able to stay relevant and um, you know, stick with themes and not be like out of date or anything like that, but also like be very unique and have something that people can latch onto. Like, man, that's MJT. That's the way MJT looks. That's the way MJT sounds. And so that's cool.
Yeah, you have a pretty clear identity at this point, but it wasn't always that way, right? So what I've been finding out is Michael Jazz Trio is how you guys start. I did go find a YouTube video of you guys playing on stage at the Jamaica Music Festival. That video is featured at the beginning part of this podcast. So when you watch
That was
it,
the very first thing I got to see.
What was that? What was I playing? Was I playing saxophone or something?
You played bass and
it's
then
a 9-minute
sax.
video. I played a few minutes of it. First song featured Matt just slaying it on the keys.
Trying to get a gauge on the era that's from.
Yeah, and
what I was playing.
you were on bass, and then
Okay.
you switched. Matt did an intro to the next song,
Yeah.
and that's where you came in with just every saxophone note possible on your intro, and blew us away with your saxophone. And
Nice.
that's when I stopped that video and revealed to him the MJT of today, and I played him the modern video of you guys live in the studio playing Daydreamer. I was like,
Sure.
this is what they were, and this is what they are. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
And from what I found out, you guys decided at some point that instead of being a jazz trio, you wanted to be a grunge rock band. And
Yeah.
I really want to know, like, how did that evolution come about? Was it like a conscious decision one day, like forget jazz, alternative rock and grunge? Or was it a natural progression? Or were you just you couldn't stop yourself from rocking harder? Like, how did that
It was
all
kind
happen?
of a combination of all the things because like our real foundation in jazz was really fusion based. Like we spent a lot of time playing like headhunters and stuff like that. Like R&B and jazz and this and
Right.
jazz and like all that kind of more fusion stuff. And then that kind of grew into like us just enjoying like also we're big Coltrane fans and like the outer reaches of like the energy that's attached to those kind of things and like the volume of notes and this wall of sound kind of thing. But a few specific things did happen. Like we fell in love with the Foo Fighters. We started listening to a lot of music like that. It's still my favorite band to this day, you know. And Jordan started playing in the band with the other kids his age. And that was a rock band. And his chops kind of got up to par. And then I started writing. When I started writing lyrics, I started writing songs. Started writing songs in the style of those things. You know what I mean? Because that happened when I was like 16 years old, 17 years old, and that's when I started singing. I'm not on stage yet. I was a couple years away from singing on the stage, but singing and trying to write songs. And I was listening to Foo Fighters a lot. I was listening to like bands like Young the Giant and like all the bands of that day. Kind of like I know Foo Fighters at that point it was around for a while, but all the kind of like indie alternative bands of that day was really what was kind of in my head. So like that was where I was writing. So then the idea was let's play the Foo Fighters at our next jazz show, which, as you could tell, did not go very well.
You didn't.
No, well, I guess not as you could tell, but it didn't go well because everybody was like, "Yo, put the guitar down and play the saxophone,"
Yeah,
and I
play
was like,
saxophone.
and I was like, "That's fair. I actually am garbage at the guitar right now." But just give me some time, you know what I mean? And I couldn't sing very well. It was like there was a lot of things I was playing that was a part of it. But yeah, we ended up working it out. But yeah, a lot of those shows people just didn't like it. So the takeover of the rock thing kind of happened gradually. But once it was like, this is what we want to do, we fully went into that whole thing where it was like, all right, I'm singing and I'm playing guitar. I guess I kind of spearheaded a lot of it too, because I didn't want to play saxophone anymore. And I didn't want to play bass anymore. So it was kind of like, what it was.
So luckily you had Matt there that has this left hand that completely works independently of all other activities
Yeah.
going on in the universe. Because I'm watching the videos and you're like cracking jokes with JoJo and or looking off and just kind of phasing out. Your left hand is doing some crazy ass shit, and then you like concentrate on the stuff you're playing on the B3 or on the synth or whatever. How does that happen? I mean, how can you get that ambidextrous where in one hand you don't have to pay attention to at all, yet you're doing crazy stuff, and then you end up focusing on other things. How do you do that?
Um, I think it's more. Well, first of all, thank you. I think it's mostly. It all starts with like I say, Dave and Joe. Just trying to hang. You know what I mean? Just trying to keep up with what they're doing, and so that's really a lot of it, more than anything like technically based, of like practice or anything like that. I mean, obviously I got a lot of hours, practicing doing it, but it's just kind of trying to keep up, like focusing less on like what's happening here and just trying to jump into the vibe. I'm originally a drummer and a percussionist before I ever played keys. Yeah, although keys are always my first love. Like I've always wanted to be a keyboard player as long as I can remember. But I had way more access to drums. Like I played drums in church as a kid, and I in school band I was a drummer, and yeah, I was in a marching band for like a year and I played drums. So like kind of like getting used, and I feel like that's a lot of the path for a lot of keyboard players. A lot of keyboard players have that story of starting with drums first, but and I did that for quite a few years. So the whole ambidextrous thing, the limb independence kind of comes from like having to utilize that playing drums, and I feel like my approach overall to keys is more coming mostly from a standpoint of how can I add more rhythm to this and be another percussionist over here, and then the whole thing with the focusing in on the one hand, it's like to part halfway answer your question, it's like I have never ever done anything different, so to me that is what playing keys is, you know what I
Mm.
mean? It's like left hand bass, right? I've actually run into issues when I'm playing with other people because the only musicians I had ever played with for years and years and years were my brothers. Then when I got older and people started calling me for other gigs, and I learned, oh, I can just play music with other people that are not Dave and Joe.
Oh, really?
I'm playing with bass players, and
Oh,
and I'm
that's not a
like
good
have
thing
to
for you.
learn how to get out of their way, and so the whole thing with focusing on the right hand is like, well, the left hand is mostly bass, it's not going anywhere, I don't got to focus on that, it's never changing. But with the right hand, I'm like constantly changing from synths to organs to piano, electric piano, so it's like I kind of more so I'm just looking at where I'm at, also because I play with the keys on my left side. Like I play an L, I don't play double tier because it's
Right.
less comfortable. When I have to come up here, it's like it's all weird. So I play the left. So a lot of it is just like I spend a good amount of time trying to get comfortable in the space. And we're at a level right now where, you know, every stage is so different, and it's not like people are just like, this is MJT's space and you
Yeah.
got to set it up. We're not always set up exactly the same everywhere we go.
Right.
So I have to reacclimate basically every single gig to like where am I standing in this space and how it's comfortable. So like that's really all the lock-in that I need, but it's mostly the confidence of just I know what I'm doing right now. I know what to play and all that.
Did Dave have to pull you along kicking and screaming into the world of alternative rock and grunge, or were you totally willing to make that jump?
So, to be honest, in the beginning, I would say I was definitely the most reluctant, to be honest, of switching. And it wasn't because I didn't, dig. I think the thing that works for us is that we have all always loved all kinds of music. I think my reluctance, and perhaps because I was the oldest, um, is like, man, we got this thing that we've been doing, we got so much work in, and it's like
Comfortable.
to go and break it all. Not that we got super famous or anything doing that, but we had gotten to a level, and I'm like, oh, to tear it all down now means like, all right, we have zero fans again. It doesn't matter that we've been playing music forever. Like we're basically a new band, and we got to do it all again. Um, and so, but you know, eventually, like it just got to a point like, all right, well, this is what we're doing. You know what I mean? It's kind of coming to terms with on my own. It's funny too because it wasn't even like a conversation that we all had together, sitting down and having a breakthrough heart to heart or anything like that. It was more so. I remember sitting at my job and listening to the song "Come Alive" by the Foo Fighters.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So I was sitting at my job and I was sitting on the computer at the end of the day doing some notes for the end of the day. And I was listening to music and Come Alive comes on. It's one of my favorite Foo Fighters songs, if not my favorite Foo Fighters song ever. And that song came on and I went into a trance. Um, and I'm like, okay, like we could do this. And it's not even that we didn't become a Foo Fighters tribute band. We don't play Foo Fighters really, and I wouldn't even say
We
our
have covered
style of
them a
music,
lot, though.
huh?
We have covered them a lot, though. Out of
Yeah,
any
I mean, like
any band, we probably covered them the most.
we covered them a couple times, but I mean, like I'm saying, it's like, okay, at least I don't know about you, but for me, people don't listen to our music and go, "You guys are
Oh yeah.
some Foo Fighters, right?"
Yeah.
Like that doesn't happen. So,
No.
but it's like something about the inspiration of that me listening to that song that day was just like, all right, we can kind of do. We have always moved in a way of like we can do anything. We've always wholeheartedly believed that, oh, we want to do this, whatever, we're gonna do this now.
You know
And
what though? What you're saying right now kind of reminds me of a conversation me and you had when we started writing all the music that we released on Mr. No One Part One and Mr. No One Part Two. We started writing in 2018, and the pandemic kind of ruined our release of all that. That's why it came out so much
Mhm.
later, because I was planning to come out 2020. But when I remember me and you having a conversation that where we were like, this music sounds so different than the heavier, than like the more, you know, more high energy stuff we've been doing. Because it wasn't necessarily grunge, but it was like, it was rock music. It was definitely rock music. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
For
And
sure.
then
The hard
the,
rock. Yeah, it's hard
yeah,
rock music. Yeah. Yeah.
it was guitar driven, hard, like whatever. Then while we were writing, while we were in the process of writing it, especially Here We Go, it was like, well, can we actually do this? Like, are people gonna like this? Like, it's not. But then Matt was like, I mean, dude, we used to play jazz, so it's like, it's like we can do whatever we want.
Did
And
they
we was
like? Yeah.
like, yeah, we can make
When
whatever
we were
kind of
playing
music we want
jazz,
to
did they
make.
like us playing Foo Fighters? Nah.
but it's like,
Yeah.
even to add in, and that's kind of what I was trying to allude to, I guess, like in my answer to the other question before, is that kind of having that mindset of, listen, we make music, right? And like our whole thing is predicated on, and perhaps we had to go through those growing pains and that and build that foundation that, like, I think people are used to now with us, especially like more in our hometown, people who know us and know what we do, and that like we've established the fact that, like, all right, MJT is like, like you're just gonna see good music, and it's gonna be like high. It's like a high energy, like a rock show with like jazz musicianship and progressive, tendencies in the music, and a lot of fusion going on. So it's like, when you establish like that is what this MJT experience is all about, as opposed to like you're going to a rock show or you're going to see a funk band or you're going to, and that's what we are. And for instance, we just did a residency this past month at the Bitter End, and one of the cool realizations were that we just did, like, this was like kind of like a rite of passage type of thing. We just had our own New York City residency, and it's like not every band gets to do something like that, because
Oh,
not
No.
every band has that in their bag to like we were able to have different guests from all different realms. We had some jazz musicians, some jam musicians, some blues and rock musicians, and pop, and all these different weeks and different things. And we did an 80s themed night, and I'm like, that is a big portion of MJT, is that we do stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, you're just gonna get music. It's a musical experience, and it's not just it's not just a rock show where though at times at that show you're gonna want to bang your head and it's not just a jazz show, but at times you're gonna be like, these dudes love Coltrane, and it's
Yeah.
not just a progressive song, but people are like, yo, is your favorite band Rush? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it's all of those things, and it's kind of been years of just figuring out how to make that cohesive. A lot of our old record, we put out 6-song EPs, and the first two sound alike, the next two sound alike, different from those, and the last two were just like, where did these come from? So I think it's been a journey of figuring out how to make a cohesive project, cohesive sound that includes all the stuff that we like. And I think we're close. We're not where we want to be finally, but I think we're a lot closer to that than we were 10 years ago.
So in the part,
to come back around, that's funny.
so in the part one, what was it's the record that was a part one and a part two?
Yeah,
Mr. No One.
I'm sorry.
Mr. No One.
Yeah, Mr. No One. On the part one, JR played for me the intro and the thing, and my question for that was, when did y'all get turned on to Pink Floyd? Because that first part, first part was Pink
Actually,
Floyd, and then it kicks into like this wonderful, beautiful little pop ditty, and it was like,
Pink Floyd. Actually, the place we used to live, we used to play a lot of pool. More so, me and Jordan was not here right now, but the lady that owned the property was a lot of big, like 20 acres on like the North Shore of Long Island, around the water. It was gorgeous. We just rented an apartment there, but we would play pool with her a lot, and she had this beautiful record player, and every record you could ever dream of. And the first time I ever listened to Off the Wall was there, staring out to the North Shore water, like with this beautiful record player, and it was. I felt like I was in the 70s. It was incredible. So that was around the time I was writing this. So I never actually thought about it as Pink Floyd kind of rip, but that would explain it. But I tell you what, the day we did that intro, for the most part, Matt, Jordan, me and Jordan were on our way to the studio, but his face was like swelled up, like he had two baseballs in his cheek, right? Matt goes to the studio by himself. I take Jordan to the hospital. He gets that sorted out. We come back and that's all done. So we didn't know I was gonna. Me and Jordan was like, "Whoa, that's cool."
Wow.
You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And then we kind of built it up from there. You know what I mean? But it was a very cool experience recording that and getting that vibe.
Can we talk about Daydreamer? From what I know, and I'm gonna get to my question, and hopefully it's a different take on a question, because you guys recorded this back in 2016. I've listened to it on your Bandcamp. I've listened to the modern version. I played the modern one for Gary. Basically the same song, right? Like there's not much different about it. But from what I've heard, you guys kind of got sick of playing it back in the day. And it was that song, set ending, great song, and you just got tired of it. Somebody asked, and you're like, nope. And now you've re-recorded it. You got the newer version. How did you get over being sick of that song? And
absence makes the heart grow fonder, like literally. And the song was one of the first songs we ever wrote. It was literally it was the first thing that we actually worked out after fully deciding to be a rock band. You know what I mean? So it was like we had been playing it for so long. We didn't like the way we recorded the last one, like just our ability to record, When we went in to record this project, we were like, oh, maybe we should revisit it. It literally did not make the album until like a week before we were deciding to put it up in last year. Like it took that long to be like, are we really putting this out or really putting this back out?
We're gonna have to play it again if we put it out.
Well, what the thing was, we played it before we made that final decision. We're like, wow, this song is good, and people like this song. You know what I mean? Like that's really the thing. Is like people like the song, but I tell you what, like now, the way that we play, like then it was like it was like our flagship. It was like we hung everything up on that song, you know. Now it's like, well, that's just one of the songs. We go so many different places in the course of our set now. That's like, it's kind of nice to have a song that ends our sets. That's kind of like, we don't have to do so many like gymnastics anymore. You know what I mean? Like just a
Yeah.
good rock song. You know what I mean? Like where I don't have to, you know, I'm playing. It's 2 chords pretty much the whole time. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. We just got to worry about the energy. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is for you, Matt, but for me, it's definitely like this thing of like just enjoying a moment of energy. You know what I mean? Aside from anything technical being too crazy.
100%. It's like for me, it's just like, part of what I was saying before. It's just kind of like going with that. Is like what do I want? What do I want the audience? What do we want the audience to be? And then what am I hoping for personally for an audience member at an MJT show? And it's like you get the full spectrum, of like this musical journey, like you come to an MJT show, and by the end of it, you're just like, oh, I have an understanding, at least a little bit, of what their musical journey in their life was like. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it's just like, oh, okay, these are if someone can walk away from an MJT show and they just like, yo, these dudes just fuck with music, just in general, and that is a key component of it because, like they say, it's 3 chords, A, G, A flat, like the whole time. And one of the things I didn't really dig about it for so long was I'm like, this is just too simple. And then I had to get out of my own head. I'm like, you know what? Like, why does it have to be
Well, every other song at the time we were playing
something
was
in there?
also that. If you think about that, like every song was that same energy. If we played an hour set, that whole entire hour was that energy.
Yeah.
Now it's like,
Okay. Now it's an outlier. It
yeah,
sets itself apart.
exactly.
It's kind of like you've struck lightning in a bottle twice with that
Sure.
song.
Yeah.
And it clearly resonates with people. I think it's a part of why you're gaining more traction, more buzz, getting more attention now. I think that song is that powerful.
It is our most streamed song, which was really kind of annoying to see.
But it was also your set ender for how many years? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like,
There's a reason for it.
but
There
that-
is a reason for that. And
Yeah.
as you begin to, think about new songs and where you are going forward, do you factor that in? Like, we need to try to lean into that a little bit more. Not that you want to go back to always
Nah.
sounding everything like that, but
Nah, we very much write like we have. I'm definitely the kind of writer that's like I have what I have to write. It's not. I'm not making any kind of preconceived notions about what people want to hear or something. Like I listen to everything because I appreciate being informed. When I say everything, I mean like I listen to like I'll hang out with some of my jazz friends and be like, oh, it's all, what's on the radio is bullshit. It's like, well, you don't really listen to it, so how could you know what I'm saying? Like I try to listen to it, so I know what people are listening to, and I know like my tastes are informed by everything. But when I'm writing, I'm only writing to my tastes. You know what I mean? I'm not writing to like what I think people want to listen to or like what I like. I guess what I'm trying to say is the art is based on what the art needs to be, not anything else. You know what I mean?
yeah, good.
And it's
Well,
just artistic.
that leads right into my next question because one thing I did notice, because rock music works off of formulas.
Yeah.
Not a formula, but various formulas. Each band kind of has their own, and I started picking out your all's formula a little bit.
Let's hear it.
I'm excited.
So you use a half step, descending chord progression a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, and I was trying to grasp the actual term because there's a term.
I have an exact reason for that actually.
Okay.
I love harmony works its best in well, I guess chromatically. Like if you can figure out chromatic harmony, that's when it sounds its best generally.
Mhm.
So like I try to do that as much as I can whenever I'm like if you can figure out Jacob Collier had his whole thing once where he was talking about like every note works
God,
with
I
every
love that
bass note.
guy.
Right?
That guy is a fucking amazing.
He's incredible. So he was saying like every bass note works with every melody note. So if you can move chromatically through music, through whatever song or whatever, you can make the harmony work for you instead of just like relying on like one
The,
four five,
the
you know, six,
traditions,
yeah, right.
yeah. Mhm.
It's like I love going somewhere that just gets your ear to do this little thing,
Oh, it perked mine up
you know.
straight up,
But then when
man.
you really break it down, it's really not that difficult. It's just the movie you don't really hear. Chromaticism is everywhere, but it's like I guess you could think about it, I guess it's like really modal. It's mostly you end up with
Yeah.
these modal kind of changes.
Hmm.
If you want to break it down theoretically that way.
Yeah,
But
that's where I was going.
yeah.
And that leads me to the second part of that question. Who went to Berkeley?
None of
Did it,
us, man. We just always
did
played.
you
None of
just
us
did
actually
okay,
studied in
because that
school.
was
Yeah.
that was like our debate was, did somebody go to school or did they just sit in a room,
Yeah.
the three of them, for the entirety of their youth and adolescence
Yep.
and just ping off of each other? And that makes it even more amazing, man.
Yeah. I
Really
appreciate you.
does. It really does.
So, was there a piano teacher who's now like, hey, point to Matt and go, I taught that kid, or are you are you guys all three self-taught?
All three
Yeah,
self-taught,
man,
yeah.
we're all self-taught.
That's
I
incredible.
I was in band in school, middle school, but
Yeah, I played
uh,
saxophone in elementary and in middle school. But I never played guitar in school.
but yeah, so as far as music instruction, that's kind of where it goes. I like it anytime I get the chance to, we get the chance to. I do like to point out, we did not have any like music instructors or teachers or anything like that go to school for it, but I
Yeah.
think our biggest, our greatest, I don't know, thing we've ever, we've done, or our greatest practice on top of literally practicing in the room and jamming together and gigs and whatever is like we're great listeners and observers of like our environment, and I think that's what helps us um so much. So like there was a jam that we attended. I mean, there's many jams we've attended over the years, but the one of the pivotal ones when we were teenagers was a jam at Manhattan Proper Cafe. Went by both names, and in Queens, the Napper Time Band had these jams on Monday nights, and it was like these were like pretty well-rounded musicians, but it was primarily like a funk R&B, pop jam where they'd call these tunes, from like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s sometimes, and like even some other stuff. They had some Grover Washington Jr. playing, so they dip into the jazz world as well and stuff like that. And it was they'd have these tunes, and we used to go every single Monday. We weren't even old enough to be in the place, but we'd be, chilling there. And I remember the first time they let us come up, and for myself, I'm like, yeah, I don't know this tune, and they're like, oh, it's in this key, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know the tune, and they're like, oh, well, it's in this key. Yeah, let's go. One and a two and a three and a go, and it's like that we learned so much from going every single week to that jam, and just a lot of it was just sitting there watching them play and then going up and like figuring things out by messing up, and that coupled with also the good thing about not having any kind of like, I sometimes I do wish that I was like classically trained or had teachers, because I feel like it would have streamlined a lot of stuff, made a lot of things easier. But where I am grateful and that I didn't is that the plus side is that there was no overseeing like entity over me telling me what good music is. This is the good stuff, and this is where it created this like this environment where it's like music, all of it is just, it's all good. You know what I mean? It's like that. So like and years came by. We When I was 13 years old, when I was in that marching band I was telling you about before, and so I started out in that marching band, then Dave joined the marching band, and then Joe joined that marching band, and we were like 13, 11, and like 6 or 5 or something like that, and we were in the marching band. We played the Long Island Drum Center, which is like a music store, place on
Mhm.
Long Island, and we played this event with the marching band, and every kid got a goodie bag, and they in my bag that I got to take home was a Dave Weckl record, Dave Weckl live and very plugged in. And on the way home we put that CD in and we're listening to it. And I'm like, this is the coolest music I've ever heard. Even to this day, we still put on that record when we're on tour, traveling, hanging out, whatever, and we're just like bugging over these songs that we've heard a billion times, and we're just like, yo, can you believe he played that? And I'm like, yes, I've heard it a million times, you know. And so the reason why I bring that up is because I didn't know at 13 years old that that music was like tough. And like you all start here because that's really intricate music. It just that was as much music to me as Yanni was music to me, as Jay-Z was music to me, as you know, you go down the list, you know, like it's just music. And I want to try to pick up all of it. You know, so I am grateful for that, and that much nature was our teacher. You know, each other, my brothers are my teachers. You know what I mean? YouTube was my teacher, you know? So yeah, man.
So you had nobody telling you, "Oh, don't try to play that yet. You're not ready."
No.
If you wanted to,
The
you did.
opposite.
Yeah.
Actually, our mom would be like, you guys, you know, the only reason why you can't play is because you haven't practiced long enough.
Yeah.
kind of
You haven't
thing,
tried
you
it
know?
yet. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you'll get it. You will get it. You just got to keep going until you get it. You know, kind of thing. You know. So honestly, that was like one of the biggest benefits to like having our own world for discovery. We started creating music from the time I was 11. You know, we would write our own stuff, and we had our mom that was like, "You guys could do anything that you want to." You know, we kind of got that from her.
That's awesome. Can I ask a few rapid fire JoJo questions since he's not here?
Yeah.
I was going to ask him these questions, but you guys are going to have to answer on his behalf. And if you don't
That's
want to,
fine.
I get it.
No, it's fine. Let's do it.
But he's a drummer, so just
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
So he's mentioned Keith Moon was an influence, but I feel like there's a lot of Taylor Hawkins in there.
Yeah, so much Taylor Hawkins influence in there. He
So we'll
actually,
see.
the day after he died, we were playing in Orlando, and he got to do we were opening for Slash with another artist, and he got to do a little memorial like drum solo, and the Hard Rock in Orlando. It was
Wow.
It was impromptu too. We didn't know he was gonna do it.
a very special moment. We talked about it briefly before the set.
Oh,
Right
you
before we
did?
went on,
I
yeah.
don't think I knew it.
Mm.
What is the band's or JoJo's symbol budget? I've noticed multiple budgets in different
Well,
videos.
Jordan used to be a very, very, very aggressive drummer. So that kind of got him used to playing a lot of things that were kind of always broken. So it's just not that important anymore to have like the fresh stuff. But I will say there was one of his cymbals that he's had for a while.
Yeah, that
That
crash ride that
everybody,
he uses.
yeah, that broke right after he bought it. So it was like I didn't spend $700 to not use it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it kind of just kept breaking a little more. But it literally was like I remember we were practicing like a week after he got it, and it got a crack in it, and he was like, "Bro," he was like, "What is good with that?" But so I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what, our budget is not very big for a thing. So hopefully hopefully once we get a bigger budget, you'll see less cracked cymbals.
Well, is there, I mean, with you having Paul Reed Smith behind you, is there going to be a Gretsch or a Zildjian or
We're
Paiste
trying.
or something?
I just got super lucky with my endorsement. Like, but we're trying. You know, we got to get Jordan to have a better. He's got to get a better internet presence. Because you know I tell him this all the time. It's like, bro, you got chops. All you gotta do is post.
Definitely. And
in the interviews I've seen, he's the quiet one, right?
Yeah.
But I get the impression he's got a lot to say. He just doesn't say
does.
it.
Oh yeah, he does. He does. I have a lot to say.
what he
Very
needs
opinionated
to do
dude.
is find an up and coming cymbal maker that
Yeah.
will.
There you go.
Know,
That's a good idea.
All right, my next JoJo question. I imagine in New York, it probably even goes unnoticed. But if you're touring through like places like Des Moines, Iowa, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets some shit for wearing an American flag as a hat. Is that a thing that has ever happened? That anybody's given him a hard time about that?
Yeah. It's definitely it depends on the crowd of people, obviously. But yeah, he some people have some people have things to say here and there. For him, it kind of just started as a thing that he was doing because he likes to keep his head covered. But and that was something that was around. But then it kind of grew into like more of like that is, I guess, something that he would have to talk about more himself. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I had a feeling that might be a JoJo personal question. I got
Yeah, it's a personal one for him.
so looking through your website, your Bandcamp, I see all this cool merch, and I tried to buy some so I could be wearing a T-shirt here, but it's like mostly sold out. The sizes and I can wear are sold out. The bucket hat sold out. Everything.
Yeah.
You guys
So
need some more merch.
we literally are getting the order in on Monday.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're getting the order in for a bunch of new merch on Monday. It's just, we've been we've been selling it at a clip that's not keeping up with the, other expenses, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we're kind of getting as much as we need for when we need it right now. It's tough to keep money in the coffers, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
touring around without like real backing. You're playing a lot of shows that are like you're not getting paid very much. We're not getting paid very much, which is fine. Everybody's got to do it at some point. Oh, lost some light. My bad.
Ooh, mood lady. I like it.
1 sec. There it is. But yeah, we're working on that, and hopefully we can keep it more steady. But we did get some stuff in. But a lot of it was like getting on the cruise. It was like gotta make sure we have a bunch of stuff. Luckily, it sells. But if it all sells, then we're gonna have to figure out the rest.
You
of the
got
tour.
none, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the thing. But
And what about physical media? I didn't see anywhere that I could buy that.
we don't have any physical
None.
CDs. Yeah, we gotta do
Have
that.
you thought about that at all? Or?
We wanted to get vinyl. It's just like for us, again, in line with a lot of other stuff I'm saying, like we don't. We're the way we're operating. We don't have a lot of extra money to do a lot of things, and
Don't
you
have
come to find out,
upfront
you see a lot
capital.
of bands moving around. Is like they got somebody back in something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I look at me like, how can they afford to do all this? You know what I mean? Like, especially we ended up like in the middle of ended up in the middle of the country when the gas started going up, and we were like, geez, worst timing. But yeah, we wanted to get vinyl. And getting CDs wasn't very cost effective because no one listens to CDs. You know what I mean? Like the one out of every 10, 15 people just wasn't making sense to us when we could just like be like stream it. You know what I mean? But at some point we will get like CDs and vinyl and like have the full thing. But me and us and AC were just talking, and he was like, "Man, it's like I know y'all. It feels like forever because y'all been a band for 20 years, but it was like it's been half a year of y'all being like on the scene, really, like touring and like doing it this level, this way." So he was like, "Just give it time, let it build," And I was like, "Yeah,
yeah. The other 19 years pretty much means nothing.
Yeah.
I mean that's one of the horrible parts of this industry is like everything that you've done up until now means absolutely nothing.
You know what though? You know what I will say? I think not that I think, like I know one of the things that I'm most fortunate for is the fact that because we got approached by some people when we were kids that could have meant we got pretty popular as like this niche kind of kid jazz band. And I'm glad we didn't.
Jazz.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't do that because what we will never lose and what only benefits us is the fact that we spent 19 years up until this point working on our ability to play music without any other outside influence affecting that. No amount of popularity or anything like that. Because a lot of time I've played music with a lot of people. Now this is not everybody, but I've played music with people that like for one reason or another they ended up having. They didn't have to go through the real process of learning how to coil cables and had not be too loud in the room and things like that, and then they end up as an adult like not get invited to the jam. You know what I mean? Because
when he says the first 19 years doesn't mean anything, he doesn't mean like your experience doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like I will always appreciate that the experience is like, well, we've never been on a cruise before, right? So we're gonna get on this cruise, and that's gonna be brand new. But at some point, it won't be brand new anymore, right? So like the other 19 years not mattering, like you take the advantage of that now in those kind of moments. But the fact that we kind of got lucky and lucked into meeting some people that appreciate those 19 years and the fact that we can play music because of those 19 years. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it will always matter in that way.
I think also fundamentally too, like something that I've learned in my time, just doing this thing, it's like two things are really important is that you have to you're gonna gain all this knowledge, and it's important that you like get good at compartmentalizing. They're holding on to. You have this experience. It's like, oh, I'm gonna learn from this mistake, and I'm gonna remember that. And oh, this good thing, this worked out. You remember that too, and work it out. And then at the same time, you also have to have like a really good like short term memory as well. Yeah, it's just like you have to remember everything and also forget
Forget
everything,
everything.
like
Yeah.
because it doesn't matter at the same exact time. It's like and because it's like, ah, man, this is how you felt about that thing before. Forget about it. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter anymore. It's never happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the same time, that you're just like, yo, remember in 2012 when we, you know what I mean? And it's like you got to do both.
Yeah.
So that I feel like the most successful people that I've come in, not even that anyone's ever like said that to me verbatim like that, but the most successful people I've ever been around doing this thing are people who've kind of alluded to that. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way this thing works, and you gotta play the game that way.
Right. Yeah. And that was kind of what I meant was that you're not gonna no one's gonna say that out loud. That
Yeah.
that is in the position of pushing you along.
Yeah.
But what the guy told you, basically what he said to you was like, yeah, you've been known for 6 months, so let's move along.
Yeah, exactly.
We're starting from here. We're not starting from back here.
People are gonna ask you these questions like, where's all your merch? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's gonna be like, it's coming, you know what I mean?
I wanted to buy some.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy some when we come to see you guys live in Richmond on April 30th.
Amazing.
At Ripple Rays.
Yeah,
Ripple
Rays.
Yes, we are going to be there.
That's awesome.
I'm excited.
And as soon as we can figure out how to get tickets, because they don't have them up for yet.
Yeah, well, no, you're fine.
Yeah, if for some reason we miss and it says sold out, I'm gonna email you guys.
Yeah, oh yeah,
No, you guys,
absolutely.
we'll put you on the old list.
That would be awesome. We would love to meet you guys in person. That'd be fantastic.
Absolutely,
Buy some merch. I just got like 2 more questions.
Sure.
And I have one, so we got 3 questions.
All right,
or 6, because I tend to go on.
The video for the song "Here We Go" was your first video that you put out.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, any band can put out a video of you guys of walking around New York City, and I'm a sucker for that. I loved it. The second time through, I started picking up on these things in the background, and I was wondering how intentional that was with the video. Like, I think it was at Madison Square Garden. Lake Street Dive was the band that was playing.
Yeah.
In the background, Wicked was up there. Broadway Wicked. Ringo
Those things
Starr
weren't
at Radio City.
intentional.
No, not intentional.
Radio City was because one of the nights that changed our lives where we were able to do the Easy Ride. The movie Easy Rider.
Yeah.
They did a 50th anniversary for that, and we were a part of the 3 of us were a part of the band.
Wow.
We played to the movie, and we got to play with Roger McGuinn and John Kay and all these people.
Holy
That was
shit.
in 2019. It was an incredible night.
Why aren't you guys in arenas?
Funnily enough, for me,
Loading.
I was young. I was like young, early 20s. Feeling invincible. I was out real late the night before. I got there and was like, I think I'm gonna fall asleep on this stage. I might actually fall asleep on this stage. So for that, it's his own journey of a day for me. Like, because after he played Born to Be Wild, which we got a standing ovation for, there's like 18 minutes of movie. So it was like this big moment, and like my body kind of just wanted to crash in those 18 minutes between that and the next song. But yeah, there was that. The James Baldwin thing was intentional. We knew we wanted to go to the library. And the Bryant Park stuff. But other than that, it wasn't. Oh, the bench we sit on, that was intentional. I'm glad I'm telling the story, actually, because the friend I'm going to talk about, his wedding was 2 2 days ago, and we all were at his wedding and stuff, and it was a great time. But
That bench looks like it's in the Upper West Side, if I was going to guess.
Lower East Side.
Damn it.
Complete opposite. But I was hanging out with my one friend Tyler Goldstein, who's a killer musician himself and does a bunch of stuff. But we were back in the day. Me, him, and Jordan really would go out to the city a lot and just do young guy stuff. You know what I mean? Stuff I don't do anymore.
Sure.
We drink a bunch and just like do whatever. But there was one time we got some halal food and we sat on that exact bench, and I was like, this was like 2017, 2018. I was like, this would be a great spot for a music video. You know what I mean? So it was like the whole idea of that video was like getting back to that spot.
Oh, that's cool.
So many years later, But so that was pretty intentional. But I think that's the end of all the intentional things. We kind of just the rest of the idea was just like, if the song being Here We Go, it's like, let's just be in this environment. Like, let's just have this journey from the New York Public Library, down to the Lower East Side, and just, whatever. That was pretty much the idea.
That's cool. I've watched it multiple times now. I'll be watching it again. All right, Gary, what's your question?
All right, so this is going to go back to what we were talking about a little while ago, because you said the Foo Fighters is kind of what shifted you guys from jazz to alt rock. I'm thoroughly on board with that because they're one of my favorite bands, if not my favorite band right now, or has been. And you have played with Living Color.
Yeah.
Correct. Has anyone before compared you to Corey? Because vocally.
No, I don't usually get Corey. I usually get Vernon. Yeah.
I didn't see Vernon, but I think it was the Never Change song. Dude, you were channeling Corey on that. I mean, the song it sounds like it sounds Living Color-esque.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the things that I posited, in the first half because we're going, wow, what made him change? I'm like, I don't know. It could have been, maybe they just fell in love with Living Color because this song here comes out and you did that. But you have been compared with Vernon.
Gotten the Vernon comp. I would love the Corey comp because he's such a fantastic singer.
Amazing, yeah. And
honestly, I kind of feel like I've kind of recently come into my own as a singer. Like my confidence was a bit different, but
you're getting definitely more Dave Grohl now. I mean,
sure,
you're getting a little growl in there, and because that was I was trying to track because that was one of my questions, but you already answered it early. Was when did you start singing?
Yeah.
And you answered that, but it was like as we're going through the cuts and we're getting closer and closer to the new stuff, you're getting definitely your original impetus for going into this.
Just so for accuracy, I played your stuff for Gary in a calculated way, but not in a chronological way. So
okay, sure.
Here's hearing your three albums from back in the 2016, 2017 era. He heard them later. So the reason I'm bringing this up, the growl seemed prominent there, and it seems like your voice really has come into its own, and it's less a Dave Grohl. Not impersonation, but inspiration.
No,
inspired by
inspiration.
Absolutely. No, I the reason I had dreadlocks was because of Dave Grohl, because that was the only way I was going to get my hair to whip the same way as his. That's the God's honest truth. I literally just cut them 2 months ago.
That was literally my last question was why lose the dreads?
I turned 30 and I was like, time for something different. 12 years is enough. Maybe I'll get them back though.
That's awesome.
That was it. But that's why I had them.
That's awesome, man. You guys are insane in a good way, in the best way possible.
So what we do on this show is we try to treat you guys, the bands that we feature on this show, like the rock stars that we think they should be, are going to be, and ask those questions and have these conversations. And I tell you, we are extremely grateful that you've given us any of your time. We're not a huge podcast yet, right?
I got you.
We're the podcast nobody's ever heard of. So All we ask of you guys, in addition to joining us for this, is to tell your fans that this is a place where they can go and learn more about you. You guys are,
Absolutely.
I don't need to ask you this. You guys are doing it already with the other podcasts you've been on. That one from Des Moines, I learned a lot from that one. And so just tell people that they can find out more about you here, and we will tell people, everybody I can think of, about your music, how to listen to it, how to buy it on Bandcamp and stream it on Spotify, because there's two different stuff. It's different stuff, right?
Yeah, we're trying to hide the other stuff, but
well, I mean,
we have this love-hate thing with Spotify, because we use Spotify. We're on Spotify. We have to use it, but there's a definite love-hate thing there with everything that Spotify does and so forth and so on. But we so appreciate y'all giving us your time, especially the eve before you head out for a nice little tour there, which is going to be pretty epic.
Yeah, I can't wait.
But was there a question that we missed that you guys would like to address?
No, this is fine, man. This is cool.
Matt?
Nah, I think you can hit it all, man.
We try, man. We come at it from a different direction because we are two musicians that have been working together for 18 years. So you only got us by a year.
Please tell JoJo we missed him. We wish we could have asked him those questions. If we ever get the chance to do this again, he's not allowed to skip out on us.
I got you.
And I can't wait to meet you guys in person in Richmond and at the end of the month. Please have a wonderful tour. Stay safe out there. Have fun on the cruise.
Stay safe.
Say hi to Brian Craddock for us.
Tell Brian we said hey, because I'm gonna let him know. I'm gonna let him know right after we get off of this. So
awesome, guys. Appreciate you,
Dave. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Take care. Thank you.
Catch you guys.
We will see you in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Peace out.
How do you do that? How do you continually get?
It's blowing my mind.
The most amazing fucking band on the planet that has a maximum of 25,000 spins. Who are also on point with the business side of it, and the most personable humans on the planet.
It's blowing my mind. It's blowing my mind. How do you do that? I don't know yet. But it's what makes me want to keep doing this show, is that we keep finding these amazing people who are also amazing musicians who, for some reason, the world does not know about yet.
I know. I think the world's going to know about these guys.
I have a feeling they
pretty
will
damn
be
soon. Yes, I think they're at a neck and neck run with psychedelics.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really think they are. And these guys actually, for as long as the psychedelics have been around, these guys got a couple of inches in front of them from just the time spent getting there. You know what I'm saying? The psychedelics have been together for what, 14 years, I guess. Wasn't it 14?
Is it that long even? I mean,
they're because they were together when they were in like middle school.
Yeah, okay.
For the beginnings of that was in middle school, but these guys, 19 years growing up, no music school, no anything. Oh my God.
Yeah.
How do you do it? You are the luckiest motherfucker on the planet.
And
not just because I'm your co-host.
Hey. No, I consider myself extremely lucky and fortunate to be able to have these conversations, to have these people want to have conversations with me, with us. And
100%, man.
And
100%.
I'm so thankful that you bring the musical knowledge, because I'm just sitting here fanboying the whole time. I'm like, ooh, tell me about that video. How was that? And you're like, tell me about the chord progression that's digressed. And I'm like,
oh, what? Did you see their faces light up when I hit that?
Yeah.
Oh my God. They were like, no one has ever.
And he had stuff to say about it. Like, there's a reason.
Awesome. Yes. That's why I do it. Well, no, I'm just driven to do that shit. But you know, but that is one of the things that I do enjoy, really enjoy is when I ask them the hard question, the theory questions or whatever like that. And I get you get that, oh shit, these guys are serious.
Yeah.
They're not, this isn't just a fluff piece. These guys, this is like, we're like People Magazine is gone in with Guitar Player and Keyboard Monthly. It's
And I love making it clear to these bands that join us that you literally have known about them and their existence
for an hour,
for 1 hour. And you picked this up. You picked this out as a specific thing that you want to ask them about in just that amount of time.
Yeah.
And when I go looking for these bands, there's a high bar, right? And it's not just that I've got to like their music. It's more than that. It's
you
like
got to be able to sell it to me.
I've got to pick up on something, right? Like there has to be a little something extra there. And it's sort of it's an unwritten, unspoken, unidentifiable thing. It's unknown, right? It's that X factor. It's got to be there. And when I find that X factor, then I pounce. And this is one where I pounced. And we've got at least one. I love it when they also fall into my lap. And we've got another one coming up in the near future where they came to us. And I like the music. I know you're going to like the music. They have an X factor. They have a story, and they're more than on the up and up. So we've got some really exciting, fun stuff to come up in future episodes of this show.
I think the best part of this one is that right about the time this comes out, we get to actually meet them in person and see their set. And,
I think I'm going to have the freedom to drop this the week of that show or the week before, one of the two.
Yeah,
so I haven't figured the calendar completely out yet.
We can push it in Richmond and maybe drag a few more people out for them. So.
I love it.
But you know what? We are very lucky because this episode of Bands You've Never Heard Of, as is all the episodes, are productions of Ranch Hand Records. That's at ranchhandrecords.com.
Bindho, or Bands You've Never Heard Of, is hosted by us, Gary Hawthorne, and me, J.R. Stoffel.
Bindho is written by J.R. and then reacted to directly by me, Gary.
All songs that we played on this show were used with the band's permission.
And I did not check out their website. Is
so,
it
mjttheband.com.
mjttheband.com. That will be in the show links, but if not, it will definitely be on the website, our website.
And also go find them on Bandcamp, because that's where you can get their 3 original or their older EPs, and they are 100% worth owning and being able to listen to. If you're like me, you're going to also download the Bandcamp app so that you can play them in your vehicle while you're driving around, just like you do with your Spotify music. If you buy these 3 CDs and download them, then you can load them into your Apple Music. I assume Google and Android phones have something similar, but I can listen to them in my Apple Music app. It's easy to jam to them along with all the rest of their stuff, but they go by just MJT on Bandcamp, and now they are MJT the Band to help set them apart. And
the Apple Music doesn't seem to absolutely require the iTunes coding anymore. So
when I bought them on Bandcamp, I downloaded the ALAC versions, which I knew was Apple friendly. So and within a minute they were on my computer, they were on my phone, and I can play them in my truck. Check out the official Band You've Never Heard Of playlist on Spotify, and the reason is because all of these songs from these bands, now I can't add the 3 original EP songs, but I can add everything they've put out on Spotify, which is Mr. No One Part 1 and Part 2, and those songs will be added to the official playlist for Bands You've Never Heard Of. Every song from every band we've ever featured on the show. It's well over 700 songs at this point. It's multiple days worth of music. Hit shuffle and enjoy. Also, we have a top 10 playlist now as well. Links to all of that stuff will be in the show notes.
And if you're just listening to this, which is generally what I do when I'm driving around, but if you are just listening to it and you're not in your car, you should actually go to youtube.com/Bands /@BindHoPod and watch it, because the videos are incredible. Not only do you get to see me and JR, but you get to meet the band, or at least in this case, 2/3 of the band. That is amazing enough. But most importantly, you get to see what the band's videos look like, both live and studio videos. So BindHoPod, @BindHoPod at youtube.com is the place to be.
That's our handle @BindHoPod. It's also our email address, bindhopod@gmail.com. Use that to communicate with us. If you have a band you want to feature on the show, we would love to consider it, and if possible, that'd be great. So send us an email about anything and everything related to bands you've never heard of.
And amazingly enough, it's also our website. That's bindhopod.com, BYNHOPOD.com. You can get to the playlist. You can see each and every band. You can see their little page. You can go to their links. You can contact. A lot of them, they have direct contacts right on the website. But most importantly, without a doubt, you can buy our merch.
Yes.
Or you can support us directly without even bothering with merch. We would like you to have the merch because we'd love you to see you wearing it around. But that way you could support us without the embarrassment of coming going, oh, you guys are broke. Can we give you some money? No, you don't have to do that. You can just sneak in there, buy a few T-shirts, and sneak back out again. And before you know it, you've got BindHoPod merch. And it's good stuff.
Whew, what a show.
Can't wait till the next time. We'll see y'all soon.
Peace out,
Come
everybody.
with us. Anybody in the Richmond area, come with us April 30th to Ripple Rays. The place looks awesome. We pulled it up as we were going through things to see MJT.
MJT the band. We'll be there.
Rock on, everybody. Talk
Peace
to you
out.
soon.
Peace out, y'all.
All right, that's done. What's next?